This is right in the middle of the novel. So my narrator David's alone at a party in the middle of an abandoned mine in the middle of Black Hills, South Dakota. Don't worry about it. He had a fight with his girlfriend and his friend Neil, and now he's alone in the middle of this party, which was supposed to be like maybe 10 to 15 kids from the punk and goth crowd that hang out at this little small town coffee shop called the Atomic Cafe. And now there's a bunch of popular kids and stuff there that crash the party. You'll also hear some references to his mask. He's heavily asthmatic, so his friends are chain smokers, and he wears a painter's mask, you know, one of those things that fits over your mouth and nose, has the big canisters off of it. So here we go. Alone in a crowd. I wasn't keeping track, I didn't have a watch, but it must have been a few hours. I sat on a log in the dark with a keg and a bonfire waiting for Neil and Lana. When we showed up, the keg was full, sweat on its metal skin almost all the way to the top. That would have been enough for the Atomic Cafe crowd, but then these other fuckers showed up. I'm talking hard drinking hicks, 250-pound linebackers who chug a fifth and barely feel it, and their skinny, high metabolism girlfriends. The freaks and misfits from the Atomic could hold their liquor. These party crashers made us look like lightweights. Speaking of liquor, that was gone too. The whiskey, the vodka, the tequila, just a pile of empty bottles around my feet. All that was left was a few bottles of schnapps. I picked butterscotch. I wanted to stay by the light of the fire just outside the wall of heat where I could keep an eye out for Neil and Anna. And if I sat by the keg long enough, maybe someone would talk to me. But being by the fire meant smoke, and smoke meant an asthma attack, so I had to leave the mask on except when I took a swig. Oh man, the looks I got from kids I never met when they saw me staring at them from behind my mask, my shadow dancing tall as a tree behind me on the side of the cliff. As pissed as I was at Neil and Anna for ditching me there, at least there was nothing funnier than watching one dumb shit after the next walk up to the keg with a red Solo cup to try to pump out the last few dregs of swamp beer. The dumbfounded look on Joe's face when all they got was a few drips of foam, as if the concept of an empty keg was unthinkable. In his button-up shirt, tucked into his khakis at a keg party in the middle of the forest, Joe was maybe the one kid geekier than me. Rich doctor's kid, a transplant from some bigger city where his dad went to school, captain of the robotics team. Shit. You think you'd be able to figure out a party tap? I cut my hands around my mouth and yelled so he could hear me through the mask. If that thing had an I/O port, maybe you could figure it out. I was too drunk to tell if what he said to me was in English or Korean or robot, but either way, those two middle fingers he flashed across the language barrier are just fine. And Michelle, this girl I tried to make my Valentine when I was 12, half Lakota, straight dark hair like Anna's, beautiful smile, 9 fingers. She pumped the tap a few times with that no ring finger hand of hers. When nothing but foam came out, she walked up next to me and picked up a bottle of cinnamon schnapps, staring at my mask the whole time, but she didn't say a word. And then there was Graziano, this kid who stuffed me in a cafeteria trash can in 7th grade. He walked up to the keg in his sweaty 311 t-shirt, and when he got nothing but dribbles out of the spigot, he started mashing on the pump like it was his dick in his fist, all red-faced and ropey tendon neck. I took the high road, offered him my bottle of butterscotch. I thought maybe he was going to punch me. Chicks and faggots drink that shit, he said. I was about ready to give up and stumble out into the forest to look for that water hole Neil and Anna went off to when the Japanophile girl from the Atomic showed up at the keg. Had her cat ears on like always, and she was carrying one of her comic books that read backward from right to left. I kept thinking her name was Nikki, but that wasn't right. Nikki is a white girl name, and even though this girl is as white as they come, she'd given herself some kind of Japanese sounding name. Just like everyone else. When she found out the keg was dry, she walked up to me to rummage through the empty liquor bottles. She was wearing black suspenders over a white tank top, no bra, long, skinny white legs, short black shorts, big, thick knit leg warmers and arm warmers, even though it was like 100 degrees. She liked to hold her eyes open as wide as she possibly could. She picked up a bottle with a few inches of something pink in the bottom of it. In the back of her throat, she made a noise like hacking up a hairball. Watermelon, she said. Gross. She sat down on the log next to me, close but not too close. I didn't notice the long black cattail attached to her ass until she picked it up, wrapped it around her hip, and put it in her lap. What you got there, she said. I held the bottle out so she could read the label. The hard stuff, I said. She took the bottle from me and tipped it back to her lips. Her throat worked a few times, and when she handed it back to me, there was quite a bit less than when she started. She wiped her lips with the back of her hand and smiled, points of orange firelight in her teeth. "I like your mask," she said. "It's kind of steampunk." I started to take the mask off so I didn't have to shout, but she put her hand over mine. "Leave it on," she said. "It's cute." Cute. I like that. I liked her hand there too, touching me. Long time since a girl other than Anna did that. But we couldn't stay like that forever. I pushed the mask back into place and let go, and so did she. "David, right?" she said. She held her hand out for a shake, and I took it. She had no grip. "Neko," she said. That was her name, Neko. Fuck it. I had a third of a bottle of butterscotch schnapps in my liver, and I was well on my way to drunk by now. So if Anna could flirt with Neil right in front of me, then I was going to flirt with Neko. She was pretty cute, even if she had a weak chin. And the cat girl thing wasn't too weird. Fucking her would be like fucking a girl on Halloween, except without all the candy. I don't know what to call what she was wearing, outfit, costume. "I like your cat girl thing," I said. The mouth of the butterscotch bottle tasted like a lip gloss. We passed it back and forth for a while. I made the mistake of asking what she was reading, some brand new manga she had that hadn't been translated into English yet. But she was learning to read kanji, and she could understand maybe one word every other page. Only took a few seconds to realize I didn't care. I started listening again when she put her hand on my arm and started telling me about some anime she videotaped off the satellite feed. It was her hand on my arm that made me pay attention. But there were also these two words she said that in combination, I had to just stop what I was doing, which was thinking about the dark circles of her nipples underneath her tank top and really, really pay attention. "Did you just say lesbian demon?" I said. "That's nothing," she said. Neko talked with her hands like Anna when she got excited, all big, dramatic, sweeping gestures. Later on, a bunch of little pink tentacles come out of it and hold this girl down while a big, veiny red tentacle with an eyeball and a tip comes out of its mouth and goes inside of her. "You mean, like, her cartoon big eyes? So fucking cool," she said. Jesus, it sounded awful. "I'd love to watch it," I said. That shot sailed right over her head. "I'll totally let you borrow it," she said. Anna always told me I was terrible at flirting. I guess she was right. But I was drunk and Anna was miles away with Neil by now, so fuck it. I couldn't show my smile underneath the mask, so I made my eyes real big like hers. I put my hand on her leg just above the knee, pale bare skin, hot from the fire. "We could watch it together," I said. Those big eyes of her got as big as I'd seen them get. I can't," she said. She grabbed her cattail and started swinging back and forth to the end flapped around. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to." My skin went hot like sunburn. Anna was right about me. A third of a bottle of liquid courage might get you to open your mouth, but it wouldn't make you any less of an awkward, asthmatic jackass.